Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Here in this video, I am going to explain my one of the recent interview experience, which the questions I have faced in this video and how I have answered. The answers might be wrong or some mistake will be there. Try to consider that on your own, but my main intention is to share the my experience that might helpful to the other people who are searching for jobs or attending the interviews, and how to answer if you are beginner. And I will share some real-time scenarios and inputs. Okay, without further ado, let's enter into the video. Initially, the interviewer asked to introduce about myself, like what exactly you do, and can you share about a little bit about yourself and your experience into DevOps. There I have shared my expertise into DevOps and like what might be my day-to-day activities and my familiar skills and tools I listed down. And the that is a common question. And coming to the first question, I have segregated these into different categories of questions, but as of now I listed down the questions into some list down what I have remembered as per the interview. It is a very much important and best practice to list down the questions that might be helpful in upcoming interviews. And let's say if you wanted to improve yourself or search further, then definitely after some days of interview you're definitely going to forget questions, right? So quite after the interview, try to memorize all the things, and if possible try to record. Okay, if you are speaking in speaker mode, if it is headphones or Bluetooth, then it is quite not possible to record what they ask, but it is possible to record what your response. Based on that, you will consider upcoming whatever, like how you answered, and do you need to change yourself, how in what areas do you need to improve. Okay, all the things you will get to know yourself. And coming back to here questions, like the first question was, what is Git rebase and how does it differs from Git merge? Here I explained about what exactly the Git rebase does, where the main difference was Git rebase will remove the history and Git merge will save the history, okay, with a new commit. That is the main difference. And what is Git hooks and how you use it in your real life, like a real project like that. Basically the Git hooks are the scripts that will trigger either before as well as after whenever the Git events comes, like Git commit, Git push or Git merge. Okay, for that Git hooks will be used. And the next question was, how do you set up a CI/CD pipeline for your AWS hosted applications? Based upon your resume and what their requirements, the questions will be changing. Okay, but consider the ideal situations, and whatever the questions I am discussing, be familiar with this also. Okay, you might also go face same kind of situations. Okay, here in this Jenkins pipeline setup, I considered my real-time project situation and explained the same thing. I considered as, let's say if I wanted to set up a CI/CD pipeline for your microservices applications which is running in the AWS. Majorly the pipeline involves getting the code from GitHub by using triggers or else webhooks, we can say. And CI build will be there, where it will builds the code, whatever the source code comes from GitHub, and there is a GitHub, or there is a, let's say if it is in Jenkins especially, we can consider GitHub or else Jenkins or else Azure DevOps based upon your familiarity. So as I have explained about the Jenkins, where we can use different stages for performing the run, tests, and for building a Docker image also we can write a groovy script command, and we can store that artifacts by creating a by configuring the S3 storage details in Jenkins itself. And there is a Terraform which provides a infrastructure as a code, and we can integrate that into our pipeline. And AWS code deploy, which deploys a application to the some based upon the environment. In my case, we use Kubernetes service, EKS, and for monitoring and observability we use Prometheus and Grafana, and especially in AWS we use CloudWatch for monitoring purpose. And yeah, that is the ideal CI/CD should be. And the next question was this: how do you handle rollbacks in CI/CD? Generally, we can automate the rollbacks. In my case, I have answered let's say if a Kubernetes deployment with previous replica sets will be there, and there is a different rollbacks, let's say manual rollbacks also we can do, and we can use strategies like blue green and canary deployment strategy for a safer and more reliable rollbacks. And the question was regarding some IAC, infrastructure as a code tool, Terraform, and also CloudFormation. And the question was what is the main difference between Terraform and CloudFormation, and I figured out the major difference in my understanding and use case. Terraform is a cloud, we can say cloud dependent, and it is a declarative, okay, and it supports a wide range of cloud providers, and especially the CloudFormation is supported only for the AWS cloud specific, and it was mostly integrated only with AWS services. I'm not sure it will be integrated with other services also, but mostly the full-fledged services is AWS. And the next question was how do you manage a secrets in Terraform? It is kind of a scenario based question, and if you have some exposure on this, then only you can able to get on recall. And I said definitely secrets should not be stored in the Terraform code, and instead we can instead of hard coding that in a Terraform file, we can use there is a AWS service called Secret Manager, AWS Secret Manager, and that will stores our credentials. And if in Terraform there is a Terraform vault also there, where it will provide say secret credential storage, and we can encrypt by using any of the tools. There is some wide range of third-party tools also available. We can encrypt that. These are the some possible use cases and solutions I have answered. And the next question was how do you debug Kubernetes pod in CrashLoopBackOff. Yes, I'm exactly not sure about this. How to uh, in real time, I haven't much worked on this, but as a some technical details, I know that, and I try to answer in this way. I will mostly check the logs by using a Kubernetes, a kubectl logs, and I will verify the logs, and I will also check the resource and their limits, and how much it was used, like that. And these are the major things I have noticed, and I have answered. And later I searched about this, and we can look for the events or scheduling some network issues. Like we can check those events, scheduling issues or some networking issues, and we can check the limits of the pods, and we can verify the liveliness and readiness. That is one of the important point. We can check that, and the logs I already mentioned, and we can describe the pod. There is a command which kubectl, that will describe a pod name, where we can check the error of the particular related pods. Okay, and the next question was, how do you dynamically scale a Kubernetes deployment? Mostly these questions are related to deployment part and Kubernetes, where I mentioned in your resume, as well as I use in your real time also. And for this dynamically scale, we can use, there is a strategy called horizontal pod autoscaler something. We can use that, and where it is performs a dynamically scale while Kubernetes deployment is happening, without affecting the deployment part. And I think regarding that only, I have explained some context about that. And the next question was, what is the difference between one moment. Welcome back. Sorry for the interruption. As we are discussing, the next question was, what is the difference between ALB, NLB in AWS? ALB is nothing but application load balancer, and NLB is network load balancer, where ALB sits in layer 7 and NLB sits in layer 4. Layer 7 deals with HTTP and HTTPS, and layer 4 TCP and UDP as well. I explained the context about that. And the next question was, how do you secure a S3 bucket? It is quite important, as well as most asked question in mostly any AWS or AWS DevOps interviews. First of all, we need to block the public access by default, and we need to dedicatedly use IAM policies to restrict the accesses. And these are some pointers what I have known, and what I have delivered in the interview. And the next point I have discussed was, we can encrypt the S3 buckets, and we can use VPC endpoints to restrict the access within the specified network itself. And there are much more questions asked, and I am going to discuss I haven't listed down regarding monitoring and logging part. They asked about, let's say, if you wanted to monitor an EKS cluster in production, how do you monitor that? And in our case, we use the Prometheus and Grafana, and there is a CloudWatch as well, and I explained about the context of Prometheus and Grafana for metrics collection as well as graphical representation. And as I said, CloudWatch, we can enable that particular CloudWatch service in AWS for Kubernetes components especially. And the next question was related to mostly like troubleshooting. When, let's say, how do you troubleshoot a let's say sudden increase in AWS costs? I haven't expected this question. I expected while delivering the question also, I expected like how would you like troubleshoot or take necessary actions when there is a sudden increase in the load on your like platform like that. I thought like that, but the question was how do you troubleshoot if there is a sudden increase in the AWS costs? Okay, there I explained some scenarios like some pointers regarding we need to explore AWS Cost Explorer. There is a one service to check which service is drastically increased the usage as well as how much it was costing like that. And the next pointer was we can implement a AWS budgets and alerts for cost. Let's say if you wanted to specify specific cost, you need to get alert need to be triggered like that. And yeah, these are the like 2 pointers I have explained. And yeah, these are the some questions as of now based upon my interview experience as of now I got it. If there is any further updates or questions need to be discussed, I will definitely share with you, and that will be some new learning for me as well. And obviously when I see these particular notes, I will definitely go through it and search whatever the things I don't know. And also it will be helpful for you guys as well, where you can refer these questions for as how was the real time like interviewer will ask and what might be the scenario based questions. And yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you.